Dignitaries on the dais, and this wonderful audience this evening. Namaskar to one and all. The members of the Tapasya Foundation, a big namaskar to all of you and your entire team. Namaskara is the Anjali Mudra in yoga. And when we bring our hands together in this fashion, with the tips of our we raise the level of receptivity within us. We raise the level of joy within us. We also raise the level of focus and awareness within us. This is the profound secret of the traditional Indian Namaskara. And I don't know how many of you really noticed, but even the Italian Prime Minister, what's her name? Somebody said it, yes. Giorgio Meloni, yeah, she also used the Namaskara in her recent world meet. That was an interesting and refreshing thing to note. So on the auspicious note of Namaskara, I'm going to try and bring a smile on your faces this evening, lift the spirits, and give you some real life inspiring stories related to the subject on hand, which will probably change your perspective towards life forever, which may probably change the way you think about life forever. So let me begin by expressing my profound gratitude to the distinguished members of Tapasya, N.V. Shetty in particular, for taking the initiative to invite me this evening and share my thoughts on this very wonderful occasion, which I think will be a path-breaking movement in the years to come. And we are committed to this movement. We are committed to the idea behind this movement. So my first humorous story for the evening, hopefully it will bring a smile on your face. There was a speaker who was addressing a large gathering in the West. He had an audience of about 1,000, 2,000 people in front of him. And he was speaking like me on subjects pertaining to the science of spirituality. So in our education system and in our training system and in every other system that we have in the world, they teach you about IQ, intelligence quotient. They teach you about PQ, physical quotient. They teach you about EQ, emotional quotient a little bit, not the entire distance. But they never teach you about SQ, which is the most important quotient, and that is your spiritual quotient. So this speaker was addressing this aspect of spiritual quotient, and suddenly a very curious gentleman in the audience raised his hand. He wanted to ask a question. And when the speaker paused, the gentleman from the audience who raised his hand, he asked the question. He said, "Sir, I've been listening to you for 1 hour. And I think, after listening to you very carefully, I think you're an atheist." All of us know atheist is somebody who does not believe in God. So he told him, "I think you're an atheist." The speaker responded by telling him, "I was an atheist until I realized I'm God. I was an atheist until I realized I am God." Now the gentleman from the audience got very angry. He named all the gods he was praying to. And he said, "Sir, so you are suggesting that we should stop praying to all these gods that we are praying to, and you are the living, talking, walking God in front of us, so we should actually be praying to you. This is what you're indirectly suggesting." The speaker again responded by telling the gentleman, "There is a divinity within every human being. There is a divinity within every human being. There is a divinity within me. I never deny the divinity of any human being, and I never deny myself my own divinity. So this evening, I'm going to appeal to the divinity within each one of you on the dais and in the audience." Yeah? So on that auspicious note, we'll begin. I'm going to give you some information which may be radical in nature, which may be transformative in nature, pertaining to cancer. So let me begin with the study of Dr. Bruce Lipton. Dr. Bruce Lipton was a cell biologist. Now this information may change your life forever when it comes to prevention of diseases at large, including cancer. Dr. Bruce Lipton did a very interesting experiment. He took cells from the same source. Same source means genetically from the same source. They all have the same DNA. And he split them into 3 distinct sets. He put them in 3 distinct bowls. In every bowl, there was a liquid, a different liquid in each bowl. In one bowl, when he put the cells, after some time, that cells became fat. In another bowl, the same cells became muscle. In a third bowl, the same cells became bone. What was different in each bowl? The nature of the medium, the nature of the liquid. What we call the culture medium in scientific and medical terms. Now, here is a path-breaking information that you all can use. We all have cancer cells inside our body. In fact, I may not be surprised if we have more than 10 types of cancer within our body. Every human being has it. But here is the key information when it comes to prevention of diseases at large and when it also comes to prevention of cancer. The activity of the cell depends on the environment which you provide the cell. The activity of the cell depends on the environment which you provide the cell. And who is providing the environment? Who is providing the environment? You. How? Largely, one major factor is your mind. The more serious you become in life, the hospital is close by. Yeah? Serious people go to hospital very often. Life is all about play. Even if you refer to Lord Krishna, forget Baba Vivek Shetty, keep him aside. But even if you read about Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, whenever Lord Krishna was written about, they wrote Krishna Leela. Leela means play. They never wrote Krishna Charita. Charita in Sanskrit means story. So the first thing is, if your mind is stressed, you are creating the wrong environment for your cells. And the trouble with our system again is, education system, training system, any kind of system anywhere in the world. I do consciousness modules. I have some highly qualified people with a long list of degrees in my training modules who are participants in our modules. All due respects to them, I'm not running anybody down. I'm saying it's a systemic problem, it's not an individual problem. What is the systemic problem? In large audiences, when I've gone to the most reputed educational institutions, the topmost universities, the topmost management I've addressed from top corporate companies and multinationals, one fundamental question usually goes unanswered. And what is that question? That question is, what is the difference between brain and mind? Nobody teaches you what is mind. So how are you going to determine what is the environment that your mind is providing to your cell? So the education system, the training system does not teach you what is mind. I am studying nuclear physics. Who is the I? Are you body? Are you mind? Who are you? I am studying rocket science. Who is the I? And every experience in your life is relative to the I. And from birth till death, from the womb to the tomb, you don't know what's the mind. Every decision is taken by the mind, but we don't know what is the mind. Today I'm going to give you one insight into mind, and you will probably remember this for the rest of your life, the way I choose to convey it to you. There are bulbs here. The bulb is the hardware. Bulb is not light, light is not bulb. Bulb is hardware, light is an example or a metaphor for mind. So similarly, you have your laptop, which is the hardware. You have softwares. Unless you have the right softwares, the most high-end laptop that you may buy at a fancy price is useless. So mind determines the environment you create for your body. For example, right now I'm in this function, many speakers have spoken, and I may get a little restless. When is my turn coming? When is my turn coming? When the hell will this guy stop? When do I go finish my job and go home? Oops. I've become restless. What's happening? Stress has gone up. I'm frowning. If you look at our generation today, it's a restless generation. We have invested lakhs of rupees in our business, lakhs of rupees in our education to become restless. And don't forget, we consider ourselves the most brilliant species on the planet. Human beings are the most brilliant. And I'll give you an example of this brilliance. Yeah? तो हिंदी में वो गजल है, सीने में जलन आंखों में तूफान सा क्यों है, सीने में जलन आंखों में तूफान सा क्यों है, इस शहर में हर शख्स परेशान सा क्यों है.